Hello everybody. Thanks for allowing me a little bit of time to address all of you who are supporting the life and the mission of our church at this time. And I'm conscious of you in all the sectors of our mission, those who work in our welfare, in education, those who work in our parishes and communities. I'm thinking of you who are clergy and pastoral associates and volunteers and all the myriad ways in which you support the life of our city and our church. And I'm speaking today mainly to just express my gratitude to you and a real sense of affection. So many of our offices are empty. There's almost nobody in our Centrecare office. I'm wandering around an almost empty building in church office, and I know that our churches and parish offices also lie silent. That means a lot of you are at home, and so let me speak to you first. There have been blessings in this time, but there are enormous challenges. Anxiety, of course, about health. But I know many of you too are carrying on your work and service to the church while trying to support children who are at home. You have been caring for their educational requirements, finding that you're spending time with partners that you haven't had a chance to do for years, and hopefully that's good, but no doubt a few challenges arise even there. I am profoundly aware of those who live with disability or love those who do, those who are presently denied so much of the support and the resources they normally depend on. I'm painfully aware of those who either are in aged care home or those of you who care for those or love those who are. I know the anguish of separation and sometimes the inability to even explain why your absence is happening. There are so many demands, so many multiple concerns, and yet you are continuing to do what you can. And I have the deepest sense of gratitude. I want to take this chance to say thank you. Of course, there are others of you who are working in our offices, and for you the demands are enormous, doubled and trebled. The pressures to support all the various parts of our church and our life that you're continuing to do with fewer people, more complex demands. And so to you too, I express my great gratitude. I'm just aware of how schools beginning to come back are trying to manage education in multiple different forms of delivery, that many of our workers have had to respond to the issues of stand down. I can't even begin to imagine the challenges in our Centrecare welfare sector of those who are trying to support families and children at risk and isolated from verandas, from the front garden and by electronic devices when I know you want to be with them as you have been. So in the middle of all of that, having said perhaps not profoundly enough how deeply grateful I am to you on behalf of the whole church, I'd like to also offer you an invitation to find tenderness, to be tender to yourself. We can place ourselves under enormous obligation and sense of strain, but please be tender to yourself, be tender with each other. Continue to have a heart of tenderness for all the world and its needs. I've at a personal level come to believe that tenderness is the name for the deepest character of God. We see tenderness everywhere. We see it even in the middle of these difficult times. We see tenderness in creation still bursting forth, producing rain, raising plants and crops. We see it in the world of animals and each other. We see the tenderness in the middle of the harshness where we reach out, we care, we connect, our hearts ache for each other, and we find it in our own depth. Tenderness is, in a sense, that deep stream of life itself. And for those of us who have faith, it's the deep stream of divine life that creates and holds and sustains us always. So, with a tender gratitude, I invite you to look after yourselves, to rest, to relax, to recreate, to regroup in the midst of all your responsibilities. And I also invite you to take, where you can, a moment just to enter into that quiet depth of the world and of your own heart, to discover that eternal stream of life and tenderness that is our purpose and is our final goal. In a little while, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, who knows, things will begin to return to the life we knew or something like it. But let's not forget what we've learned together, what's been valuable from this time, to connect, to care, to focus on what's most important. Let's remember those who are sick, those who have lost people they love, those people who are anxious for themselves and for others. Let's continue to hold each other in love as we go forward. So I wish and pray for every one of you the growth of that divine and human tenderness that is within and between us. And I close as I began by thanking you deeply and assuring you of my grateful and affectionate prayers for all that you are doing and all that you will continue to do. Thank you.